We have in the panel Dr. Abbas Adebayo from IITA, based in Tanzania. Abbas leads the Cassava TAAT Compact. We also have Dr. Zabi Bishao from ICADA, based in Addis Ababa at the moment, leading the Wheat Compact. And Dr. Irene Frempong from FARA, based in Accra, who is leading the Capacity Development and Outreach Compact, Enabler Compact. From Innocent's achievement overview presentation, we heard a lot about some of the key roles that the compacts are playing in the implementation of the TAAT program. Quite a good record of achievements, I must add. Dr. Abbas, let me first start with you. You are the head of the Cassava Compact. Would you briefly explain to us what Compact is actually all about and how it functions? In doing so, please try to highlight the partnership dimension within the Cassava Compact for us. Dr. Abbas.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akem. And I would like to appreciate the presentations made by previous presenters. Cassava Compact focuses on achieving rapid intensification of cassava across all the cassava producing countries in Africa. And so for that matter, we focus on productivity improvement, increasing mechanization, and promotion of value addition. And for us to be successful, it's important that the value chain actors are also linked to the market. And we need to catalyze investments, both government investment in agriculture and cassava in particular, as well as private sector investment in cassava production and marketing processing. So this is what we focus on. But in each country, we do engage in strategic alliances or partnerships with the private and public institutions to drive this transformation that we would like to achieve. And these partners are usually the national agricultural research and extension institutions, the international research and development centers. We do partner with technology companies, agro-processors, policymakers, and so on. But one important group that TAAT begins to focus on is a group of countries that have cassava development programs, or they do have loan programs that they are investing on. And so Cassava Compact becomes a very good partner for such countries to access new technologies in order to ensure that the investments yield the expected results. And we have done this in many countries, and we are supporting the countries to implement their country programs on cassava development. We are supporting Togo. DRC is developing a presidential initiative as we speak, and we are providing input into that. Central African Republic, it's going to implement a country program with loans, and we're helping or supporting these countries. So with this group of partners, we form what we call the Cassava Compact. And that compact, with the group of partners, we co-invest in the technology outreach activities that we do. So how do we then structure our programs to work together? First, we do have national meetings, consultations, and so on. And we design the program, we decide which technologies are important in each country, and we decide in which agroecologies in those countries that we will deploy the first set of equipment, and we decide the partners or the beneficiaries that would be involved. And so we train as we deploy the improved technologies. As we train, the national institutions use their in-country resources to move those technologies from the first set of agroecologies where we introduce improved technologies, they move to other agroecologies. That is the arrangement that we have for co-investment. With the seed money that we have in TAAT, national institutions have been investing their own resources on those technologies that we have introduced. And together, we do monitoring and evaluation, we learn lessons, we understand what needs to be improved, and that is helping us to know exactly what model will work in other countries. That is the approach that we follow in Cassava Compact. Back to you, Dr. Akem.
Thank you very much, Abbas. Dr. Bishar, could you also address the same question in relation to the wheat compact, please? What is the wheat compact and who are the key partners? Very briefly, please.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and good day, everyone. Why wheat is important, and we know that wheat is a major stable food crop in Africa, where 60% of consumption is based on imports, draining the national economy. So the wheat compact, it aims at bringing transformational impact and expansion of domestic wheat production to achieve wheat self-sufficiency in Africa. To do that, we are scaling high-yielding and high grain quality, heat tolerance, improved varieties. This has been the question in the past, where the issue of grain quality, the issue of yield was actually one of the main constraints. So we are promoting these technologies bundled with good agricultural practices from land preparation all the way to post-harvest management to minimize the losses. On the other hand, we are also large-scale bulking and supply of quality seed to the farmers, as has been mentioned earlier by Dr. Martin, to make sure that farmers really get access to the existing technology. The main purpose of this is actually to increase wheat productivity and production, to enhance food security, economic growth, poverty alleviation, contributing to farmers' income, value addition, job creation, and supply the agro-industry to feed the urban population. The Wheat Compact has established what we call innovation platforms at a strategic and operational level, bringing together all wheat value chain actors, which we call multi-stakeholders platform, engaging the farmers, the private public seed producers, input providers, extension services and research system, financial institutions, be it a rural microfinance, as well as agricultural development banks where they exist, non-governmental organization, sector association like Farmers Association, Seed Trade Association, Flour Millers Associations, agro-processors, and above all, policymakers and the donors. The main purpose is to bring all these actors along the value chain so that each and every one contributes, defines its roles and responsibilities, and contribute to the transformation of the wheat sector in Africa, so that Africa can really feed itself instead of importing wheat from somewhere else.
Thank you very much, Zaldi. This is really interesting indeed, and provides us with additional information to what we heard from the keynote presentation. That is all about partnership, and we achieve this by working in compacts that bring these partners together. Through this compact partnership, can you now briefly share with us some of the key achievements that have been made by your compacts? This time, let's start with you, Dr. Bishal, since you are still on the throne. And wheat, what are the key achievements?
A consistent policy advocacy by the Wheat Compact enabled wheat self-sufficiency to become a national agenda in target countries, where there is high-level interministerial steering committees and technical committees were established and roadmaps were being developed to achieve wheat sufficiency in target countries, which shows an overall government commitment in these countries to reverse the issue of seed import. This actually led to production of over 1.2 million tons of wheat grain, which can be valued at $255.4 million, which could be linked to the agro-processing industry to ensure that the flour millers are working and feeding the cities. Of course, as has been mentioned by Martin, ensuring the availability and access to quality seed is what matters. So the Wheat Compact created a partnership with over 58 private and public seed companies and seed producers cooperatives and farmer groups, producing around 150,000 tons of seed of different classes, reaching close to 1.5 million farmers, of which 33% are female, directly through scaling or through access to seed. Of course, the Wheat Compact activities created additional job opportunities in wheat grain production, seed production, value addition, and other related services, as well as the agro-processing along the wheat value chain. These are some of the highlights of the Wheat Compact.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bijau. Dr. Abbas, please share with us what you have achieved with cassava. Very briefly, please.
Thank you very much. We know that cassava development would require seeds, would require value addition. There cannot be cassava commercialization or intensification without these two important aspects. One achievement we have made so far is the building of foundation for robust seed system in some of the countries where we are working on. We are working with institutions within some countries, DRC Congo, Zambia, Tanzania, Togo, Sierra Leone, to develop a robust seed system. And we are relying on a particular technology that would enable the private sector or national institutions to begin to produce seeds in millions in-house. Is a new technology that allows rapid multiplication of cassava to produce plantlets. And that would help in increasing seed availability. So in about 5 countries now, we have supported them to set up their seed bulking facilities. In some of these countries, the seed bulking facilities are already functioning and they are producing cassava plantlets, which they would then move to the field and produce cuttings. And that helps in developing a new generation of seed growers across these countries. That's important. Number 2, value addition. We have introduced innovations for farm gate processing. We have introduced processing machinery across some of the countries that we are working in. And these countries would be able to produce food products that can feed the cities. And this is important for industrialization. Rural processing, making the products and taking to the cities will increase the income of the rural dwellers. Those are 2 big aspects that we have contributed to across some of the countries that we are working in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abbas, for that enlightenment. Dr. Dashir, in his keynote presentation, made mention of commodity compacts as well as enabler compacts. We now understand that commodity compacts focus on the various commodity value chains that we target to increase productivity and transform African agriculture. Dr. Irene Trentham, I know that your organization, FARA, is one of the enabler compacts, the capacity development and technology outreach compact. Can you please throw a bit of light on what these enabler compacts are all about and how they function? You may also wish to briefly describe the linkages between the enablers and the commodity compacts. Irene, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Akem. and recognizing all the previous speakers who have set the pace and the background for this presentation. The starting point for TAAT is, of course, that there are proven technologies that need to get to the hands of the end users, particularly farmers. There are a number of intervening factors along the pathway of technology deployment for wide-scale transformation. Some of the factors include soil fertility, water management, pest management, enabling policies, capacity development and outreach, but also inclusivity of key actors such as youth, women, small-scale farmers, private sector, and the need to establish relevant linkages between technology generators, research institutions, academia, and a whole lot of them, including markets, commodity aggregators, financing institutions, processors, warehouse operators, retailers, consumers, and the like. So there are a number of intervening factors that have otherwise undermined earlier efforts at scaling and getting large-scale agricultural transformation. Noting this, TAAT then put in place a team or also a set of actors that will come together to provide these enabling services to the commodity compacts. And TAAT identified 6 of them, which Dr. Dashir had already mentioned. So the work of the enablers are merely to work in concert with each of the commodity compacts and provide cross-cutting services by responding directly to the needs of the compact and facilitating the process of addressing these intervening factors to ensure we have successful and effective deployment of the technologies that these compacts have.
Thank you very much. The key word there is cross-cutting facilitation. Could you now focus on your enabler compact and give us a brief sense of some key achievements that the capacity enabler has made to contribute to the TAAT program?
Thank you. The Capacity Development and Technology Outreach Enabler is an enabler that highlights or focuses on 2 key aspects of capacity development and outreach. First, it focuses on strengthening capacity of end users to access the technologies in the first place. Now, on accessing specific tools for auditing the capacities so as to enable the compact to contextualize what is it that they need to do within 58 innovation platforms in 10 countries. We have actually been doing this with a team of partners that form the Capacity Development and Technology Partnership Network, including the African Forum for Advisory Services, African Women for Agriculture Research and Development, Agriculture Research and Development, WIPAD, and we have connected also the national that strengthen the linkages at the country level. We have also trained 450 practitioners on the tools for TAAT to move to the end users. We have done so in 16 countries, bringing country multi-stakeholders that I've mentioned together through
We're having some connectivity problems. Please bear with us. Irene, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, go on, please. We're having some connection problem.
Okay, sorry. So with the 450 practitioners that have been trained on the innovation platform have also been provided with sets of materials that they are using to manage the innovation platform, but also materials that help them to mainstream gender into the programs, as well as engage the youth and plan agribusiness processes so as to strengthen the capacities to scale. On the second area that the Capacity Development Compact has worked on is on strengthening capacity of end users to utilize. So once they have the access, they have to have the capacity to utilize these technologies. And we have done so with country-based networks to identify and mobilize about 1,300 process facilitators who need to be trained on the 9 technologies within TAAT. This number grows as we move into new countries. In addition, we've developed 14 modular outreach materials jointly with specialists and extensionists in order to access these technologies. Our ongoing webinar series on livestock, high iron beans, maize, aquaculture compacts have so far also attracted 1,700 people in the past 1 month alone. At the aquaculture compact, for instance, is using these materials across 12 countries in Africa. And the last point, Dr. Akem, is that it is important that we ensure that countries buy into the TAAT services. So FARA is using its position on the African Union biennial review process at the country level to advocate for the public sector to bring TAAT services as they implement the National Agriculture Investment Programs. And we are seeing the dividend of it when the biennial processes are being formulated, as well as the NAM encouraged. So let me stop here, Dr. Akem.
Thank you very much for the great and enriching answers that all of you have given. I think now we have a deeper appreciation of the operations of TAAT and some of the wonderful achievements that we made. I'm tempted to go on and on with the exchanges, but time may not allow us.